Hey everybody. I know it's been a hot minute since I've done a video and I do apologize. I have not been staying consistent, which is something that I know I need to do in order to make this work. I have had a lot of inner thoughts and kind of chaos going on recently, and I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to make a video because I know that this isn't something that I'm just going through. This is something that everybody who goes through whether you want to call it a spiritual awakening, a conscious awareness shift, there's different terms from different cultures all over the world as to like what it is, but it's all the same thing. It is becoming a higher version of ourselves, which is created through greater awareness. And I have been just, I don't know if it's stuck or I don't know. My mind has been chaotic lately, and it's kind of been driving me crazy a little bit. So I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to share this with you guys just because it's part of my truth. It's part of what is going on with me right now. And I just hope that some people can relate to it. You know, they can find some insight. I guess I want to go ahead and I want to start off with the different stages of spiritual awakening. There's no real definite, like, oh, there's 5 stages, oh, there's 7 stages. I think they pretty much range from 5 to 7 from what I have found. But there are at least 4 or 5 stages that are consistent with all of them. And that is the initial awakening process. Where we go ahead and we start questioning things and we really start looking into the whys and hows and stuff like that, where we start seeing the matrix. The next one is the dark night of the soul. If you've been through this, you know exactly what it is. It is the time where we are starting to look at ourselves and see that we are not at all what we have been told. Our entire existence is created from the mind, and it becomes a very separated time. We feel very disconnected and tend to pull away a lot from society and the groups of friends that we've had forever, even family members, and start to kind of become a hermit. That's what I did. I became a hermit. And we go through this kind of paradigm shift in our own lives, as we're having these realizations and going through this exponential, usually, growth in our awareness of everything going on around us. The other stages are the sponge stage, which is where I feel like I'm at right now. It is a hunger stage. Like, we want information and knowledge and we just can't seem to get enough. And that's definitely how I feel right now. There is also the surrender stage, where you finally just go ahead and you start letting go of the things that no longer serve you. This can be material things, it can be relationships, it can be a job, it can be anything and everything in your life. It can be identity, it can be parts of the egoic mind that, you know, have been telling you for decades that you're not lovable, you're not worthy, or, you know, you're not capable of abundance. Whatever it happens to be, there's anything and everything fits into this. But the last one that I've seen consistently is going to be soul work, I think is one way that I've read it's been put. And that is where you step into your new life, essentially, your new path, your new existence. Um, and none of these are in any particular order, except for the initial awakening. That's always the first one. But you can go through them in just about any order for the rest of them. Like I said, I'm feel like I'm going through the sponge stage. I constantly just want more and more information. I also feel like I'm going through the surrender stage, and also trying to find my soul work, all at the same time. We're just gonna hit everything at once. Um, but as far as the sponge stage, so I am constantly buying books. I've amassed quite the collection of books over the last 6 7 years. And most of them I have read a good portion of them. Not a whole lot of them have I read the entire book. Not gonna lie. It's kind of a fault. Um, but everything from healing traumas to learning how to reset my programming, my egoic mind, and getting past the self limiting talk. And I want to learn about astrology and tarot, and I want to learn about ancient Egypt, and just everything. I want to learn about truth, real, genuine truth, not the crap that we're taught in schools and colleges nowadays. I want to know genuine truth, universal truths. I want to know what it is that people have done that has really helped them to be able to get to a better place. I want to know the skills and trades that people can do in order to help them live a better life, to live healthier. I guess that's another aspect as well, like nutrition and learning to garden more. I do quite a bit of gardening, canning. I have my own little homestead going on and everything that you guys have seen if you're following my channel. But I'm constantly soaking up as much as I possibly can. There's so much of it. And as far as the soul work stage, that's one thing that's been reeling in my head here recently. Probably one of the bigger things that's kind of driving me crazy is I know that what I'm currently doing as a job is not what I want to be doing. It's just not. It's not fulfilling. It's not feeding my soul. It's not making me feel good about what I am doing in this world. And so I know that I want to do work with nature and animals, conservation, biology, something that has to do with helping the planet. That is where I feel like I'm most called to, I guess. And so I've been looking at different options for what I need to do in order to be able to get there. And so that's included everything from going back to college, getting a degree in biology, doing internships that don't require any prerequisite, but it gives you in field actual knowledge, working information that can help you get into career paths that are in conservation, be it land or animal conservation. So yeah, that's a big thing. I'm constantly trying to figure it out because, like so many people out there, like I've been in my current job for some time now, and it's I'm just in a routine with it. I'm so used to it. And so switching everything, jumping timelines, changing everything in my biology to be able to make this shift is so hard. I feel like that was a lot to just get out. But I am making strides in order. They might be small strides, they might be more like baby steps, but I am making them to accomplish this and make these happen. These being changes, these changes happen. The other stuff that I've really been working on, aside from soaking up all of the information that I possibly can as fast as I can, is, sorry. The other thing that I've been working on is my inner dialogue, and my frequency. I know that we are beings of energy, and our thoughts are one of the biggest things that put out into the universe what we will be receiving back. And I don't know where it comes from, but I have really angry inner dialogue sometimes. I can get mentally pissed off for nothing, and it drives me nuts. And so I have been working really, really hard recently to go ahead and stop that programming from, no matter where it came from, to go ahead and, instead of it being a unconscious thing that is happening, to take note of it, to talk to myself when it happens and be like, no, like, you don't want to fight this person. You love this person. And it, even if it's not someone that I am close to or someone that I am genuinely friends with or anything, if I have some sort of dialogue that starts like that, I'm getting much better at being able to stop it and shift the narrative. Even if it's just in my head, it makes me feel better because I don't want to be angry. I can be a very soft, gentle person. And I say can be because if there is something that I just genuinely feel like it is wrong, like somebody has been wronged, or like someone is doing something maliciously, I will be vicious. It's just, that is something, as far as my character and how I have been, I am not one to be violent. Like, that's just not me. I don't, no, I just don't. So working on my my inner dialogue, my egoic mind, and being able to reset that to where I want it to be, to match the frequency that I want to be at. That's something that I have been really trying to be more consistent with. And that's not just the, like, not being angry, having those angry scenarios in my head, but that is also having gratitude and expressing gratitude, feeling gratitude. Same with abundance and worthiness and all of the things that really align with the life that I want to have, that I am working to, I want to say build, but it's not just build, it's the life that I want to shift into. I want to be able to go from where I am at currently to a life of exponential growth, a life that I am looking at, staring at it in the face, and being like, I fucking love this. This is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love where I live. I love my place that I have. There are things that can always be better with it. There are things that I'm working on. There's things that I'm fixing. There's things that are just constantly progressing. But I wake up and I am so grateful for what I have. I just have to keep reminding myself of that, because there are days where I get so stuck in my head about where I want to be that I forget what I have. And that is like one of the worst things that I do to myself, because I forget that I have so much. I forget that I have a home. I forget that I have everything that I need in order to be able to survive. I forget that I have, a loving family and amazing friends, and I have support from all over. And those are the moments when things feel really heavy. Those are the moments when I feel like I'm never going to get there. And it's not uncommon for people going through an awakening process. I feel like everybody goes through this kind of thing. For some people, it's a shorter period of time. They get to figure out where they're going, what they're doing, and they've got, their spouse or their partner, whoever happens to be, that is supporting them, and they're like, hey, if you want to quit your job, go ahead. I will support you in that. I don't have that. So I have to figure out on my own how, when, I go ahead and I do an unpaid internship, I'm going to be able to go ahead and continue to pay my bills. I have to figure out the ins and outs of certain aspects before I can just be like, okay, this is what I'm doing, because I have a house payment that is just mine, because I have bills that are just mine. And I'm not one of those people that's going out there and just like looking for a relationship so they can help me, reach my goals. I feel like that's a shitty thing. So that's where I'm at with this. And I hope that my video can reach some people and they can kind of have a sigh of relief knowing that they're not the only ones, that they are in a collective group of people that are working on shifting their frequencies, shifting their reality to exactly what they want it to be. And sometimes it's harder. Sometimes we get so stuck in our egoic mind that we forget about the things that we have, and we fall back into that state of lack, or we forget about how much love we have, and so we forget about how worthy we actually are. But it's consistency that makes the difference between people that do have a spiritual awakening and they are able to change their lives for their better, and people who have a spiritual awakening and they just decide that they can't handle it, they don't know how to deal with it, and they just go back to everything that they were doing, exactly how they were doing it, and they just live out their lives kind of stuck. So I appreciate you guys if you've stuck around for the whole video. I absolutely appreciate you guys. I'm definitely going to be doing some editing. This one's at 20 minutes right now, so I don't know if you guys really want to listen to me for that long, but if you did, thank you. Greatly appreciate you. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, I always appreciate those. I hope to be posting more stuff here in the next couple days and weeks. Just more thoughts, more stuff going on. Things have been kind of rough on the homestead. Let me be honest about that. I had a possum get into my chicken coop a couple weeks ago, and then the very next night I had what we think is a fox get into my chicken coop. The possum didn't do any damage. He went up into the coop and was what it looked like was trying to eat the eggs, because that's the area that I found him in. Pretty much just scared the bejesus out of all of my chickens. But we did manage to catch him and rehome him. Took him several miles away and dumped his ass off. Having a possum alive in a bucket in my car was slightly mortifying when it started to move again. Just so you guys are all aware, scary stuff. The next night, we are guessing that it was a fox because we have a family of foxes in the area that got into the chicken coop, and it actually took my rooster. Now, we found him.